Hi guys, Alan here at Alan's Allotment. So just to give you a quick look around this muck hole, making a start or trying to get a bit more done. The weather is absolutely ridiculous. However, I need to crack on and get something done. So as you can see, we've got the framing taken out from last weekend. We've still got some scraping beds. There's only a little scrape in the bottom of those, hopefully. If I remember right, there's plastic underneath, so I think I just sat my tatty buckets in there over the last couple of years. So we just need to get this area cleared up. As you can see, there's quite a lot of rubbish and what have you. All of this is for burning. So what I'm going to try and do is get from here back to at least this area cleared up and pulled to get the plastic pulled back and try and get that area there all cardboarded at least to try and stop the weeds coming through or anything like that. I think the plastic's done a good job down here. There isn't a trace of any weeds under there, or doesn't appear to be. So yeah, we'll deal with this little area at a later date. There's still it's a good big area to grow in, but bits and pieces, as they say, small steps at a time. I'm going to try and get this large area cleared at least, so I can start getting the beds prepared, ready for some growing. I've made a start round here. I've cleared a lot of rubbish from down here, as you can see. This corner was full of junk and the trailer was sat in there, one thing and another, and we need to try and get this area sort of recovered today as well. So my son very kindly rocked up this morning in the van and he's brought me this lot here. So that'll be a good start once we get the plastic back. So we're going to crack on now, and I'll give you a little look further a bit later down the day. See what we manage to get done if the rain doesn't beat us. Okay, see you later guys. Okay guys, so this is the massive heap of cardboard that Tony fetched for me today. Unfortunately we didn't get Tony on the video because he was feeling ill, and by the time I come to do the update, unfortunately he had to go. So he's gone home now and hope he's feeling better soon. Yeah, massive van full of cardboard here. I haven't had time to get it down today. The weather's been against us all day, but at least I've got it here now, and if it gets a bit wet, well, it's just a bit heavier to move around and look about, but only the top layers are going to get wet. If anything, it'll make it softer and more playable and easier to actually use. So I'm going to give you a quick tour of the allotment and let you see what we actually got done today, which is quite a bit. I'm delighted. However, it may not look much on the video, but here we go. So we scoot round. This is still in the state that it was. However, we've got the composting bins put back pretty much where they were, but they're not staying there, and I might not even use those at all. Lifted an old pallet up, and you're probably going to remember this area well, but it doesn't look anything like it did. So you can see this is the pen through into the chicken pen, and you can see we've actually got a path down here now. We've got it all covered over, and this is the wood chip that I bought several years ago, and it's quite a good layer. There's a good 2-inch layer here. We haven't enough to finish it, but I managed to salvage this to cover this area, and as you can see, this is much tidier now. I still have this to dismantle and take away, and I didn't get time to do that, but this is basically what it gives you an idea of what it's going to look like when it's all finished. And there's a new dressing of wood chip to go on top of this as well. This is just to keep all the sheeting underneath down for the time being and give me some lines, and the fact that I can see things coming together will keep me motivated, and it's looking to me $1 million. I don't know what you guys think, but I certainly think it looks $1 million when you looked at the mess that it was in the first place. So yes, we've got all this area tidied. Somewhere they leveled the ground out as well a bit actually, because this was on a massive slope. So in the process of doing that and clearing the other area, which is this, as you can see, all the beds have all now been lifted up, and all the posts pulled out that was knocked through the plastic, etc, etc, etc. So we also got all of this done as well. And as you can see, I've started to roll the plastic back just to see what the earth was like underneath, and it's actually quite good. Now that we've got the area cleared of wood and timber, there's some bits of the old frames that I had round the beds from last time. That was a bad idea, but we learn by our mistakes, so that won't be happening again. but I might be able to utilise some of this, like I've done behind there. We've got a tin sheet to run down here shortly, all the way down, and we'll put those frames up there out of the way. It just gets them out of the way for now while I decide whether I'm going to bring it back down to just a tin sheet height or grow peas up it or whatever. But obviously we'll need some strong posts in there. But just so you can see the ground underneath, this is the ground underneath. This plastic's been down several years now. And you can see there isn't a weed in sight, or anything that's laying on the top is just literally surface, as opposed to that bed there that never had any plastic under it, and that's still to I've got a little tiller which I'll rotivate that over, and then we'll barrow that away and get a shot of it, or we'll just level it back and then we'll throw the cardboard over the top to kill the weed, and we'll just plant right on top of that. So in this area, as I say, there were several layers of plastic. I used a lot more than I thought. There's one layer rolled back, and as you can see there's another one here, and under there will be even better. It will just be bare ground under there, but I pulled one little area back, and you can see the ground is bone dry, and half the problem, that's why I had a bit of a swamp up in this top area. Now that the air can get it in one thing or another, and it can drain properly, the whole ground area will drain away. So the visqueen done the job to make this job easier. However, putting visqueen down with no porous, not being porous, is not a good idea. But then I just intended growing in beds above ground level, really. And it's certainly done the job of keeping the weed back, but it just adds to other problems, drainage, etc. So, yeah. Tomorrow, weather permitting, when we come up here and start to cut this into smaller, manageable strips, so that I can reuse the plastic, roll it up and reuse it, and in winter it will be rolled out across the top of the new beds to stop the weed, any weeds popping through during the winter. So it's not going to go to waste, it's going to be completely reutilised. And as I said, this has been down several years now, and really got a good run for my money on that. But yeah, the area is looking much clearer now, and we're getting there. So I've took about 8 days off in February to try and get this all finished and what have you, and I'm hoping it'll all be done and finished by the end of February, and maybe even have the beds prepped and all the rest of it. But as you can see, much tidier now. I can see the area I'm working with, and it's quite a large area, so we can certainly make use of this. And as long as it's prepared correctly in the first place, with the cardboard and then the layers of mulch and the compost, etc., and kept on top of each year, then and covered over with plastic in winters, there's no reason why I should have to go to this much trouble again. So that's it for today, guys. Hope you've enjoyed the video, and as always, any comments, put them in the comment section below, and if you like the videos and you want to continue to see more, just let me know. Thank you. Bye.